Good evening. The hunt for Ottawa's next top cop is on, and tonight we're getting our first look at the national search for a new chief of police. It's now been a month since Chief Charles Bordelot retired. CTV's Christina Succi was at a public consultation tonight where residents got to have their say. Christina.
Well, Stefan, ideally, you would have wanted to already have a police chief lined up to start once Bordelot retired, a seamless transition of sorts, but we are still without a permanent replacement 1 month later. So it's clear the board is really taking their time with this process, consulting with the community first. And while some are applauding the efforts, others are pushing back. What makes a good police chief? That depends on who you ask.
They want someone who reflects the community they serve.
The Police Services Board posing that question to residents, but it was a room far from full.
Is incredibly problematic.
A concern for those who were actually there.
Yes, we concern it and we ask it because it depends how they do the outreach.
It was advertised extensively, and yeah, I think there was a concern that why didn't more people come? What we've been observing is that people are choosing the online feedback.
Chair of the Police Services Board, Diane Dean, says they aren't taking any chances, hiring a headhunting firm in a national search for Ottawa's next top cop.
We recognize this is a pivotal moment in our history. We need to get this right.
We really need to look at the character of an individual, and I'm not convinced that that's something a headhunting firm can find.
Ottawa lawyer Eli Labaki isn't convinced this process is the right one.
We're considering a person for this position, and the chief of police is not necessarily a person. It's a symbol. It's not an advertisement. It's not a job posting.
A symbol of justice and integrity, according to Labaki, who says Ottawa's next police chief should be a leader within both the community and the force.
So you want to see consultations with the actual officers as well?
Absolutely. Consultations with the officers should have been the first thing that would have been conducted. The people who will be working under the command of the chief, and if they don't trust their leader, how are they expected to function?
Are there going to be any consultations with the officers?
That's a great question. I did send a letter to the rank and file and told them we're embarking on this process and that we're happy to hear from them. There's not a face-to-face consultation with them.
And while just who will be Ottawa's next chief of police remains uncertain, there is no doubt it's one of the most important roles in the city, and finding the right candidate will be no small task. Deputy Chief Steve Bell remains interim police chief until at least August 1st, and the pool will be open to candidates by the end of June, with a new chief ideally picked out by the end of fall. And you can still have your say by filling out an online survey on the board's website. That goes until Friday. Steph.
Not an easy position to fill for sure. CTV's Christina